My 2026 lineup begins to arrive. Let's open the first one. Fall is the busiest time in the planner community. This is where a lot of companies release new planners and journals, and this is when we all begin to think about next year's lineup. Of course, I'm no different, and even though we are in beginning of October, I'm already thinking what will serve me best in 2026 for my planning and my journaling needs. I have to say, I have a feeling that my 2026 lineup will not be as big as the one in 2025, but nonetheless, I will have a few planners that are exciting me right now to use in that year. So here's the first one that just arrived literally yesterday, and I haven't opened it yet. I haven't looked at it because I wanted to share this moment with you. So let's do this together. This one is from Allie Ryaz, also known as Filoplanner on Instagram, and she is famous for creating these super chunky 1000-page planners and journals. I have one of hers in B6 that I got this year, and I also got a gorgeous cover for it from our Estelle. And for 2026, I got a different one. It's a different size, but also with 1000 pages. And you and I, we're gonna see in about a minute what it looks like. Let's open it up. I don't know if you can tell from the box, but this is definitely not an A5 and not a B6. As you can see, it's pretty skinny. Yes, it is a super chunky journal in standard size. If you've seen my previous recent videos, I've been really into standard size when it comes to my planner. I am currently in common planner in that kind of size. And so when I saw that Allie now releases these chunky notebooks in standard size as well, I decided that I really wanted one for my journaling and note-taking purposes. It comes in this cute box, as you can see, so very giftable. Let's open it up. Ooh, it's so heavy. As you can see, this box, as thick as that is, I'm pretty sure that's how thick the planner is, because this notebook is heavy. A lot of pages, definitely enough for a long while. So the chunky notebook that I have from her today is in B6, and it's in this linen, kind of like light gray cover. But this year she created a new kind, and they are in this PU leather that resembles a book. And here it is. Look how cute. Oh, I love this. Look how pretty. Let me take this cover off to avoid the glare. Here it is. Look how beautiful. Oh my god, it's even prettier than in the photos on her website. So as you can see, it's like this leatherette cover, and it has the stitching, and it's a real stitching. Here's her logo, and what I loved about it the most is on the back here you have these lines like the old school books. So I really love that book look, and it's smooth on the back, and look how chunky it is. I was not kidding, it is 1000 pages worth of paper. It is a journal, not a planner, and it is in graph, which is my favorite type of paper, and it is made out of Tomoe River Paper. So for those of you who love Hobonichis and other notebooks with Tomoe, this notebook is one of the family. And since recently I've been really enjoying my time in Common Planner, which also made with Tomoe River Paper, I definitely wanted to have a journal that is also made with this paper, because I've been really enjoying using my fountain pens and my highlighters in there, and just being able to have these many pages in a smaller package, because Tomoe River Paper is 52 GSM, so it's thinner paper, and therefore you can fit a lot of pages in pretty small package. Of course, this notebook, even being small package, is still pretty chunky. As I mentioned, it's pretty heavy because, I mean, come on, 1000 pages, but it feels so good. I used to not be crazy about this narrow format. I felt like the hand didn't have enough space to go back and forth when you write, but later I realized what I actually didn't like is the TN standard notebooks, because they were very thin, and as soon as you start one, you finish one, and so you could never like settle in the book. And even though on one hand having thin notebook is a plus because you can complete it quicker and have this feeling of completion, I actually like thicker notebooks because I like to stay in a notebook for a while. And especially since I love writing with fountain pens and write longhand and journal for many pages at a time, I really wanted to have a notebook that has a lot of pages and I don't have to worry about running out of space. Now, as I mentioned, this notebook is made with Tomoe River Paper, and as you can see, it is a graph paper. So this one is a 3.7 millimeter. Allie also has one notebook, also of standard, but it is with slightly different, smaller grid. I believe it's 2.5 millimeter, and that notebook, I believe, comes in the slimmer, like a half size of that, or I believe maybe like 500 or 700 pages, but I wanted to get the chunkiest one she had. And also I wanted this size because I prefer 3.7 millimeter grid. Now, if you're not familiar with 2.5 millimeter grid, if you've heard of Midori Hibino, that's the size of grid that it has. It's very tiny, so if you have small handwriting or you use pen with a really fine nib, it'll be perfect. For me, I found myself that small of a grid was too small and I would write like on 2 lines at the time. And then when I got a notebook with 3.7, I found that it was like perfect size. Some notebooks come with 5 millimeter. For me, that's a bit too big. So this is perfection. Also, another thing I'm excited about this notebook, I don't know if you noticed, but with how thick it is, when I put it down, as you can see, it lies completely flat. And that's one of the things that also sold me on it, that with this kind of thickness, you don't have to do anything to the notebook. You just open it, train it just tiny bit, and it stays. As you can see, it is completely lay flat, and Allie herself said that don't be afraid to bend it back. It will take it because of the design. It doesn't fall apart. It holds itself together really well. So I'm really excited about it. Another thing that excited me about Allie's notebooks, and that's the reason why I also got the B6, is because she makes them, she also makes it with hardback, but these are all soft. And because they're soft bound, look, it's so flexible. You don't have to be worried about opening the book. And also, if you are to put a lot of decorations or things like that in here, obviously by writing, Tomoe River paper becomes a little bit thicker. You don't have to worry about it because notebooks with flexible covers handle these kind of expansions, the thickening of your notebook, much better than the hardcover. And believe me, I learned the hard way because in the beginning of this year, I got a really chunky notebook with hardcover and it wouldn't stay open from a different manufacturer. It was difficult to pack stuff in it, and I decided for myself that going forward, if I'm gonna get a really thick notebook, if it is available in a soft cover, I'll definitely gonna take it and order it with a soft cover. Now, one of the things I want you to notice here is that this is just a journal. Definitely a really thick journal. Because it's 1,000 pages, it will last you for at least 2 to 2.5 years if you're doing page per day. Of course, you can use it in a different way. If you have a 2-page spread, right, then it's gonna last you a little bit less. If you're also using and creating monthly spreads or weekly spreads, of course that will take up the pages. If you use collections, things like that, using it like a super thick bullet journal, adjust accordingly. I think this kind of notebook will be amazing if you want to do morning pages, right? Because you're supposed to write 3 pages every morning. First of all, these pages are obviously about half size of A5, so it will not take you as long. But also there are so many pages that will take you a while to fill this in. So definitely a good investment, right? This kind of notebook will last you for a while. One thing to note though is that there are no page numbers on here. So if you want to use it as a true bullet journal to be able to index it, then you will need to number them yourself as you go. From what I'm seeing, there are no notches on the pages to subdivide them a certain way. So you will need to measure them out to see where the middle of the page lands, where the third of the page lands, if you want to use them this way. As I mentioned, this is Tomoe River paper, and even though in beginning of 2025, end of 2024, there were inconsistency with Tomoe River paper as it became Sanzen brand, my understanding is that the paper now improved in quality, and I believe Allie, at least from what I've heard on her Instagram channel, really worked with the vendor to ensure that quality of paper is better. I have to say that the notebook that I'm using right now from a different manufacturer, the Tomoe River Paper, definitely appears to be better. So fingers crossed this one is from that batch. I'm definitely super excited to have this in my 2026 lineup to do all the journaling and all the note taking and all the idea taking that one can have. Another thing to note is that because it is designed like a book, it doesn't have an elastic to enclose it, so you will need to have your own elastic or something like that if you want to keep it closed. Also, there are no like page marker ribbons like some notebooks have. I also know that some people don't care for those and rip them out anyway. Plus, it's also always difficult or often difficult to have those ribbons stick in your notebook when it's really thick. And then in the back here it's also plain. There are no like back pockets or anything like that, so it's basically very straightforward. It's just a super thick notebook, 1,000 pages, graph paper, Tomoe River Paper, and it has this beautiful leather-like cover. It's very smooth. I love it. It's a really nice feel. It doesn't feel plasticky. It feels like leather. Now, if you know me, I love using my planners with covers, and with this one, I'm actually 50-50 if I will need one or not. Definitely, the cover seems to be able to take care of itself. I don't think it needs any protection, but I often use covers because it gives me an ability to enclose the planner, keep it closed, especially if I put it in my purse so it doesn't open up and the pages don't get smushed. Also, covers often have pen loops, you know, to hold your pen. They have extra pockets to keep different stickers or cards and things like that in them. So from that perspective, covers are really useful because they allow you to add whatever you need to your planner, especially when you're on the go. Now, because this notebook is very, very thick, I doubt that there are a lot of covers that can fit it. At least I haven't looked for many, but I do have a cover that should be able to cover a chunky notebook, and that's the cover that I'm using with my common planner at the moment. So let's see if it will fit this one, because if it does, then I will buy another cover for this one to be able to protect it and also to be able to enclose it and have pen and stickers along with it. Alright, so here is my chunky planner that I'm using right now. As you can see, it's pretty thick, very reminiscent of this. Yes, this planner doesn't have as many pages, but along with other inserts, this thickness kind of arrives to the same thickness as this. So let's see if I can fit this one, this journal into this cover. Let me take this out, and momentarily I took my notebooks out of their strings so I have to fight them on camera. So as you can see right now, I have the clear pouch with a whole bunch of stickers. I have this TN notebook in here, and then I have my common planner, which is the full size, and this one I believe is about 500 pages. So definitely a good contender to this journal right here. So now, as you can see, this cover is pretty thick. It's pretty wide. I'm using a pocket version of this with my pocket moleskin that also has added monthly moleskin. So again, a really chunky setup which fits just fine, and that's what I like about this planner. It has it's pretty wide and has a spine to support thicker notebook rather than me having to force to wrap the cover around the notebook. So let's see how it fares with this notebook. Now this is standard a TN cover. It comes with strings for you to fit your regular TN notebooks or any notebook you want. There is a back pocket here. I doubt that this will fit in here, so I won't even try. I just want to see if it wraps around or not, and then if it fits, in the worst case I can always fit it onto the string, basically fit the string behind here so you can kind of hang off of it. But let's see, it will be the ultimate test right now. See if it fits as is. Just about. So because this planner has like this leatherette cover, it's almost like it has its own tiny cover. But as you can see, this way it fits literally, not a single thing sticks out. I mean, maybe the cover by like a millimeter if you want to be picky, but otherwise it fits actually pretty nicely. Of course, this is the fit as is, right? Brand new with nothing in it. I imagine as I use it, especially if I start using washi tapes or stickers, it will expand, and then it will be interesting to see how it will fit. but even if it sticks out a little bit, it's not a problem for me. But otherwise, you can use this cover, put it on here, voila, ready to go. You can grab it. If you need to have your IDs in here, you can put them in here. This cover also has a pen loop. I usually keep this pen loop in because it kind of runs into the planner, because as you can see, it's kind of sewn in. Now for me, if I do want to keep a pen in here, I would hang it off of elastic. So I would do something like this, and then I would thread the pen through here and then just hang off of here. I will also definitely have a page holder here, like this kitty clip, right? I would keep it along, so then when I write in a journal, I can clip it and kind of keep the pages in place. So this cover definitely is a really good contender. I know when I was watching, Ali used her own version of this planner in her Instagram. She did have, I want to say, Louis Vuitton cover, maybe. I might be wrong, but she definitely does have a cover for her thick notebooks of different sizes. So we'll have to see what she uses and kind of go and look out what else is out there. I know with her releasing this kind of thick notebooks, more and more cover makers are creating covers to fit these type of notebooks, since chunk is in. So definitely keep an eye, or I will keep an eye on a cover that can accommodate a really thick notebook like that. But as I mentioned, because it already has this beautiful leatherette cover, it doesn't really need a cover, another cover on the top of that. But if you want to have one like me, to hold a pen or additional paraphernalia, definitely, to have a cover on top of that will be neat. So now the ultimate, I want to see how this particular version of Tomoe River Paper handles various pens and stamps and stuff. So let's try it out. All right, so I don't have the full set of all the writing instruments that I own, but I think this is a really good representation of fountain pens and markers and highlighters that we can try to see how they fare with this paper. So I'm gonna go to very back and then just grab a spread. So I think I can just start with this page. We can write on here and then see how it's gonna look on the other side. Let me put a clip just to keep this side down. I like this clip because it has a really good grip, has a really good depth, and it's pretty weighty. So hopefully it will keep the page down. Or maybe I can put this on the top. There we go. Actually, we're gonna do it this way around. Gonna keep it like that. All right, so I think I'm gonna go straight to the chase and start with the fountain pen, because that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have a journal with a Tomoe River paper so I can use my fountain pens. So in this case, this is the one that I currently use. There are two fountain pens here. There's a dot marker and then a couple of Mildliners and then this Pilot gel pen. So let's start with my thickest pen. So this is a TWSBI in medium, and it has this like turquoise ink. So let's see how that works. And this one is medium, and this one, I never remember if it's an Eco or Eco T. This one is Eco T. All right, one. Then my next TWSBI is in fine, and this one is just regular Eco. So TWSBI in fine. Of course, inks here are from different makers, so they might have slightly different effect on paper. We'll see. I love this brown, it's so pretty. Okay, so these are my fountain pens. Next, let's try gel pens. So I have the Pilot G-Tech. This one is 0.4. And this one is pretty fine, so I think it will do well no matter what paper it is, because it's really, really thin. So this is C4. And then I have my favorite Angel Klena in my favorite turquoise color. And I believe this one is in 0.4 as well. I like how these are both 0.4 and they behave so differently. This one definitely smoother. I love clearness so much. Then out of pens, we have this one here. This one is 0.1. It's a uni pen. Yeah, this one is super fine. I don't think it will bleed through any paper. Okay. I wonder if you'll be able to even see it on the other side. So this is as far as the pens that I have, just like immediately here. Now I think next we can go with highlighters and such. So let me try these two guys. So these are brush pens. So these are for the touch, and in my experience, these are Pentels. They, depending on paper, they bleed, even though I really love them because they're so smooth, and like I said, that they're like hard tip brush pens. But unfortunately, I haven't been able to use them recently because they bled through pretty much everything. So this one is Pentel for the touch, and this one is in turquoise, and this one is in brown, and they have like a whole 12 pack of different colors of these. All right, and now we can try, let's see. So this one is supposed to be bleed proof, like they call them Bible markers. And then next one is everyone's favorite Mildliner. So many of us have Mildliner, so I feel like definitely want to be able to test one end and other end. And then I have two more colors in here. So this one is lighter. I feel like this one's gonna do well, and so will this, because I used them today and they do really well. And then the cinnamon one will probably bleed, but we'll see. You never know. Definitely is so much richer, but you know, that's what happens. The richer it is, the more it bleeds. And then the ultimate one, I'm pretty sure will bleed. These Uhuhu, they're supposed to be actually journaling markers and not to bleed, but I've seen them bleed on many different papers. This one is metallic, so metallics don't bleed as much because I think due to how metallic colors designed, they stay on the top of the paper, so they don't, you know, get absorbed into paper as much. But here I have a sharp tip, so we're gonna have Uhuhu. And then this one is just called dual tip, and this is the sharp one, and then that's the dot one. So the dot one is cool because you can use it for thick line, but you can also make dots with it. All right, I think I've tested everything I had here as far as pens. I also have a stamp and also have these stamps. So let me do this stamp. This is just a tracker. I don't know if I'll use trackers in this journal because I use them in my other planners, but this is just gonna serve as an example of a stamp, right? With, especially with Versa, see how the Versa ink does on this type of paper. So let's give it some ink, ink this up, and see how it does. And then I'm gonna try the other stamps that are self-inked. All right, so I'm not gonna try to do it too straight. I just wanna see how it looks like on the paper. Okay, so give it like a really good squeeze. All right, oh, perfect, look how beautiful. So nice and even. And now we're gonna try these. So these are Pilot, and these are the erasable ones, the friction. So let's try one blue and one red. So this one is birthday cake. So these, they actually stay completely on the top of paper. So a lot of times you can actually more concerned about them not transferring to the other side versus bleeding through, but you never know. And then this one has a cloud, so like use it for weather. And these are very cute. They're self-inking, as I mentioned. I had these for like 3 years, I think. They're really cute, and they really work really nicely. Okay, so I effectively filled up the whole page with different writing instruments, right? So we have fountain pens, gel pens, we have brush pens, we have highlighters, we have dot highlighters, we have stamp ink, and then erasable ink. Drum roll, let's see how it did. Oh, I'm kind of nervous because it's a lot of pages if they don't work. Of course, there is always, you know, roller ball pen and stuff like that, so it's not the end of the world, but if you know, you know. As you can see, this stamp's a little bit shiny, so I know they're probably gonna transfer to the other side. So in the worst case, this page gonna have some, you know, transfer on it. All right, let's see. Oh, it did really well. Oh my God. Thank God, I'm so happy. As you can see, yes, you can obviously see what's on the other side. You have the show through, but that is expected because it's Tomoe River paper. It's very thin, so you will always see what's on the other side. But most important thing here is that I don't see anything bleeding through. There is like a tiniest of bits, maybe here if I was really picky, right here, like a little dot, almost like tiny show through. Even this cinnamon one, there is just a tiny bit here, but it did really well. It didn't bleed through. As you can see, every single thing that I used did really well. This is so exciting. That means I can use all of my writing instruments in this notebook without any worries. Whew. Allie did her homework. She said that she hunted those vendors down to make sure the quality of paper was good, and it is. Look how cool. I'm actually super impressed that the pen tail for the touch didn't bleed either. Like, yeah, it has like a serious show through, but it's not bleeding. There is no feathering, no bleeding, just show through. I'm so happy. Look how pretty, and I love that this paper is on the white side, so all your colors are pretty much true to what they should be. And I'm very impressed with the dots also not bleeding through, because in my other notebook they do bleed a little bit, but I still use them because they're very neat. But I'm very happy and impressed how well this paper handled all my writing instruments. So that's pretty much, I mean, these kind of pens are what I use, so I pretty much can just grab whatever I want and use and change around as I'm working in this journal. So yeah, I can use fountain pens, I can use gel pens, definitely can use Mildliners. Oh, fantastic, this is so exciting. I'm really happy. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to using this in 2026. It's gonna be such a great addition to my lineup. And actually, this is not the first year that Allie offers this size, and I've been kind of keeping my eye on it for a while, telling myself, no, you don't need another journal. You already have journals and planners and notebooks galore. You don't need another one. You don't need another one. But of course, being into traveler size since like August or like July of last year, I've been so like just circling buying or not buying this journal, and I just knew on the back of my mind that I will end up getting it. And since I decided that for the next year I'm not gonna have a really big lineup, I figured, you know what, I will splurge to have this super thick journal because it will definitely last me more than a year. So here it is. How beautiful is it? I love this old book feel on the spine here. This is so cool. Imagine having several of these and like having them on a shelf over the years. So cool. I'm really excited about it. And I love this color. It's so pretty. It's like mocha cappuccino kind of deal. So here you have it. How beautiful is it with 1,000 pages? Oh my God, every girl's dream. Well, at least my dream. And having it in Tomoe River paper in graph, chef's kiss. Very excited about having this in my next year's lineup. Thank you for being here with me as I unboxed this beauty and gave it a pen test. How exciting is it that I can use all my pens and highlighters in there? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. Are you a lover of chunky notebooks? Do you have any of the Allie's notebooks in your collections? Please let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this kind of videos, please like, please subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. You take care.